Red Zone Sports Ante. Wham, bam, thank you, Uncle Sam.
Hi there and welcome along to week 15 of Upping The Ante in association with RedZone.bet, and it's our 15th and final week in this series with me, David Jennings, and the Cheltenham connoisseur himself, Mr. Gavin Lynch. You must be getting extremely excited, Gavin.
Fantastic, Dave. Can't wait. Today, even though there's not much racing on, it's still a brilliant day to think that Cheltenham's tomorrow, because we're all going to have 15 and 20 winners during the week.
The Monday at Cheltenham, I have to say, it's amazing. Everybody's in good form. Everybody thinks they're going to back every single winner at the Cheltenham Festival. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. And for RedZone.bet viewers, we've got a fantastic offer. Bet 10 quid, get 50 quid in Red Zone's double deal. Now, this is for new customers only. Have a tenner on any double over 6 to 4 and get 5 free tenner doubles, okay? So me and Gavin, we're going to give you our double for the whole Cheltenham Festival at the end of the show. So you're going to have to stay tuned. And for this show, we're going to preview all 7 races on the opening day of the Cheltenham Festival. And we're going to give our final selections in our antepost portfolios for the 2019 Cheltenham Festival. What's not to love about that, Gavin?
Not much.
That is a show and a half.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to kick off on day 1, and we start off with the Supreme Novice Hurdle. And the Roar. Supreme Novice Hurdle, Gavin, I don't know if it's good or bad for you. You've obviously tipped up Classical Dream in your antepost.
I did.
For the Ballymore.
I did.
But he goes for the Supreme. Happy or sad?
A little bit sad. We just get on with it. You have to, no point in...
but the good thing is you think he's going to win this too.
I do, yeah. I think that I really fancy Fakir Duderee and I really fancy Classical Dream. Can't see anything outside those two winning it.
That's a big statement.
It is. Classical Dream, I was hoping to go to the Ballymore if the ground was good to soft, but I think, as usual, Willie's probably made the right decision. The horse, I'm actually tipping him today for the Supreme as one of my 2 tips, so we might as well talk about it now.
We'll tell them later in the show, okay?
Okay. But yeah, Classical Dream, I think that the soft ground, he had great form previously in a grade 1 and Otay, so I think the soft ground will really suit him.
And you're after making a big statement there. How surprised would you be if either Classical Dream or Fakir Duderee didn't win the Supreme?
I would be surprised because, for example, if you go to the handicapper, Fakir Duderee is an official rating of 150, plus it gets £8, that's 158. The second highest rated horse in the race is Classical Dream, along with Armand. They're both 154, so the handicapper thinks they're the best 2 horses in the race too. Okay,
and of course, I've spoken about it all series. My selection is going to be Mr. Fisher, who has drifted out to a huge 11 to 1 now, and he's bigger on the exchanges. Nico de Bonville has decided to ride Angel's Breath, no surprise there. Mr. Fisher, James Bowen, who rode the horse to win at Haydock. I still think the race at Kempton on St Stephen's Day is possibly one of the best pieces of form on offer. I think he's a very, very good horse. I'm not saying he's definitely going to win. I don't think I'm as positive as you are in your 2 selections.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to have a bit of a smash at Fakir Duderee and Classical Dream, yeah.
But Mr. Fisher, each way for me, and my second choice, I think Classical Dream, the fact that he's running here, it's a real Mullins Ruby move. Get the best horses you can into the first race on the ground he likes. Get a good start. He's got a cracking chance, Classical Dream.
He does, and as I said, the race in France was 2-2, so he definitely stays, loves soft ground. And Elixir de Nuts and Felix Deji, they're going to go 1 million up front, so it's going to be a very fast run race.
Yeah, and he's got experience as well. Classical Dream, so it is Classical Dream and Fakir Duderee for Gavin, and it is Mr. Fisher for me in the Supreme. Moving on to the Racing Post Arkle, and we've got some Red Zone prices behind us here.
Yes.
Layler 4 to 1, Glenforza 4 to 1, Hardline 6 to 1, Duke de Geneva 6 to 1, Kalashnikov 10 to 1, Paloma Blue 10 to 1, Knock the Noose 12 to 1, 14 to 1 bar. What do you like, Gavin?
I don't like the Irish in it, to be honest. I think it's probably a little substandard Arkle compared to normal. I think that Paloma Blue, Duke de Geneva, Hardline, I just don't think to be quite good enough. The pace in the race is obviously the big story in this one because there's 6 or 7 front runners in it. Duke de Geneva, Ornua, Glenforza can lie up with them, us and them perhaps. Even your pal Paloma Blue, Knock the Noose,
Clondalk Castle. He was my pal. We fell out a long time ago.
Did you?
Yeah.
You haven't forgiven him?
We'll make up now. If he wins the Arkle and I've him tipped here at 18 to 1, we will have made up properly.
Pals again.
Yeah.
BFFs. I've tipped up Lawler. I still think he's a great chance. He did win a grade 1 in Aintree and soft ground. If the ground was good, I'd really fancy him because they're going to go so fast. He'll sit in behind and wait. But I think Glenforza also has a great chance. So
Is Layler not a ridiculous favourite?
Why?
Like, he's been smashed at Sandown on his last start.
But the last time at Cheltenham, obviously, he bolted up.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. I don't know. I think Glenforza is the most likely winner. I think he's rock solid, jumped brilliantly, beat Kalashnikov so easily last time at Sandown. It was an understrength Kalashnikov, obviously didn't jump particularly well, but he's just a progressive one that has
I
done
wouldn't
nothing
disagree.
wrong over fences. I think he's far more solid than Layler is.
I have backed Layler, but I'm going to back Glenn Forza, and I have done today. And I think that, for example, in Sandown, it wasn't a freak because he was 3 seconds quicker than the handicap chase.
Yeah, and don't laugh at me, promise.
I'll try.
I think we will see a big performance from
His
Kalashnikov.
jumping is the issue, isn't it?
His jumping is the issue, but just ground, left-handed, he will cope with all that. He's already
definitely
coped
stay.
with the big day at Cheltenham. He stays. I just think he's the forgotten horse of the race. At a double-figure price, he could be just worth a fiver. I'm not saying he'll win, but he could be worth a fiver.
Yeah.
But it's Glenn Forza for me and Layler for you.
Glenn Forza or Layler, one or the other.
Okay, moving on to the Ultimate. It is the third race on Tuesday, and with Red Zone, it is Gimme a Copper 5-1, Manila Rocco 15-2, Mr. Whittaker 17-2, Q-Star Civila, last year's winner to Cheltenham Festival 11-1, Crucial Roll 14-1, Single Far Payment 16-1, 16-1 Noble Endeavour, and 18-1 Bar, and it hasn't even mentioned the winner yet, Gavin, because Calypto, okay, who I have tipped up on this show in the past, is my selection here. I think Calypto is well handicapped off 148. What a story it would be if Charlie Deutsch could ride a Cheltenham Festival winner after the year he's had, been in jail and everything. It would be a great story. And Venetia, soft ground, Calypto, great Cheltenham Festival record. I think he's underrated in this race. If we can get 20-1 about Calypto with Red Zone, I think that's a cracking bet.
Very good.
Gavin.
I suppose it's worth mentioning Mr. Whittaker has a small chance. He won the Close Brothers last year. He's never raced beyond 2 miles 6, so the question is, will he stay? The one I'm going to go for, but I've had no bet in this race, is Q-Star Civila. Won it last year. On Tom Sport 2, won it 2016 and 17. I just wonder, are we going to get a 28 in 2019? Lizzie Kelly with a big smile after pulling up at the end. Maybe that Q-Star Civila might win again.
Are you a Lizzie fan?
Yeah, sure. She's a good jock. Yeah, it's only £3 higher than last year.
Yeah, no, certainly got a chance. So it's Q-Star Civila for Gavin in the Ultima. And it's the big one. It's 3:30 on Tuesday.
This is going to be some race.
What a race. Oh my God.
Race.
The people can't stop smiling looking at the screen now because they love the champion hurdle. This is the race of the week. And with Red Zone, it is Bouvard there 13-8, Applejade 7-4, Lorena 3-1, Sharjah the Menta Patrick Mullins 12-1, Mellon, for whom Paul Townend is riding, is 14-1, Verdana Blue 18-1, Esport Dallin 18-1, 20-1 Bar. Gavin, this is the race we all want to back the winner of it. Tell our Upping The Ante viewers who is going to win the champion hurdle and make a really good case for it.
A really good case. I'm going to go for Applejade, and I think the fact that Charlie Parks is not in the race is really important because he kind of spoiled it for last year for Faheen. Global Citizen doesn't have to lead. Everybody thinks that it's going to take on Applejade.
Haydock, yeah.
No, it didn't at Haydock. The reason it took the lead in Haydock is that it ran so keen, he just had no choice. So I think if Jack Kennedy wants to go and make it, I think that Global Citizen would be happy to sit in second. Don't worry too much about going left-handed. She goes into the hurdle, she goes right, but she actually jumps the hurdle dead straight.
Dead straight.
I think it's going to be a huge 4 minutes for Jack Kennedy because he has to get the fractions right. He can't go too slow, he can't go too quick. I think that her performances this year have been fantastic. You can find the odd hole in some of the form with the others. I just think Applejade is going to win it, and I think that Esport Dallin could run into a place.
Okay, for all the reasons you said, I agree. This could be our first winner together on Tuesday, Gavin.
It could.
Applejade. And
it'll be, if she does win, the roof will come off.
Oh, she's just astonishing. And I spoke to Keith Donoghue and Jack Kennedy in the last week, and both of them said you will be able to see from the parade ring before and keep a close eye on the parade ring. If she's revved up, if she's hard to get on top of, if she's just in a mood, it's a great sign. I just pray that Lorena or Applejade aren't in season for Tuesday, for tomorrow. Yeah. Is that... why, Bouverdare's good looking? It's just with Applejade last year, being in season, it just destroyed the mare's hurdle a little bit. So anyway, hopefully they all run the race, and I'd say it'll be, as you say, maybe the race of the week. Yeah, so keep an eye on Applejade in the parade ring. Unlike both of our wives, I think, Gavin. Usually when our wives wake up in the morning, they're in bad humour. It's a disaster. Yeah. This is good. If Applejade is in bad humour, if she's narky, she's throwing her head about, it's a great sign. Excellent. So it's 2 ringing endorsements for Applejade in the champion hurdle. Moving on to the OLBG Mares Hurdle. And Gavin, this is a big race for you. Ruby Walsh said this is the biggest race of the week for him. Benny Deju, this is his banker, and this is one of your bankers. Yes. Beans on toast if she doesn't win. I think she will win. The reports are, you're hearing all the time, really that she's working. Yeah, that she's working very well. She's been in training for so long as well. It's not as if there's been any setbacks. It's just been the ground, hasn't it? And also they're talking about 10, 12, 14 mil tomorrow morning. The more rain that comes, the better for her. She's not blessed with a lot of gears, but she stays forever. She's very honest. Last year coming to the race, she had 3 races over fences.
previously. So her jumping, Ruby said, wasn't that good at Cheltenham. It was better in Punchestown because she'd been over hurdles. And he said that this year her jumping is lower and slicker in the Curragh and stuff that he rode her last week.
If you could pick one horse to win on Tuesday out of all your bets, would it be Benny the Do?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I've too much money on it.
If Tuesday ended and you had only backed one winner and it was Benny the Do, would you be happy? That's a good question.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
I wouldn't be thrilled, but I'd be satisfied. It'd be 6 out of 10.
Okay, there we go. So Gavin's Cheltenham rests on the broad shoulders of Benny to Do in the Mare's Hurdle.
Do you fancy her?
I do. I think she's a good thing. Yeah, I can't understand how she hasn't been 4 to 6, 4 to 7 for the last couple of weeks.
It's just you haven't seen her since April.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's a long
absence
time.
makes the heart
If we
grow
haven't
fonder,
seen
Gavin.
you since April, we'd know too.
Yeah, you'd be begging for me to return. Now, moving on to the Close Brothers Novices Handicap Chase. And Gavin, this is a race where we've both got strong fancies.
Yes.
Do you want to go first or second?
Second, go ahead.
Okay, I fancy Riders on the Storm. Big spare for Brian Hughes. Brian Cooper obviously was supposed to ride. He's riding Camino for Paul Nolan, who's his boss. I'd say he's pretty devastated, to be honest with you. Riders on the Storm, I just think he could be potentially a 150 horse over fences. He's a brilliant jumper. We haven't seen the best of yet. I think he will stay, and I think he's just got a touch of class. Off a mark of 140, 1 pound higher than his Irish mark. He's been my idea of the winner of the race, possibly since that run at Christmas at Limerick. So I'm saying loyal to Riders on the Storm, Gavin.
Is Riders on the Storm going to stay 2.5?
That's the worry. I think he will improve for the trip. Because
soft ground up a hill.
Yeah. Don't leave me deflated now.
I won't, but I'd have a doubt. Okay. But he travels great. I'm going for a Plutard.
No chance.
What does that mean?
A Plutard. Yeah. See you later.
Yeah. So it's rated 144. The reason that it gets into this race, I said a couple of weeks ago when I tipped it up, is that this is not 145.
Don't be bragging now. Don't be bragging.
No,
you got a big price.
No, it was a similar price. But this is not 145. It gets in at 144. The reason for that is it's a 5-year-old. So it has been getting £7 allowances, for example, when it hammered Duke de Geneva, who's third or fourth favourite of the Arkle.
And Duke de Geneva jumped brilliant that day as well.
Yeah, and Plutard was electric in ace. So its real rating is 151, less the £7 for being a 5-year-old. So I think it shouldn't be in the race. Its 2 runs right-handed weren't so good in Gorn and also in Punchestown. But the run in Naas was electric. It also has 1-0 tie. So it would be amazing. It would be amazing if she rode it.
And there's a big statue of her outside of Cheltenham at the moment as well. So it's a Plutard for Gavin, and it is Riders on the Storm for me. So leaving the best to last, or the longest to last, because it's the longest race at the festival, it is the National Hunt Chase. And Gavin, your selection earlier on in the series was OK Corral. Do you still fancy OK Corral?
Yeah. Just the big question is he going to stay 4 miles? If he does stay 4 miles, he'll win. He's more gears than Ballyward. There was 3 lengths between them last year in the Albert Bartlett. OK Corral was 3 lengths ahead of Ballyward. Now its 2 chase wins have been over 3 mile 2 and 3 mile soft ground. If you want to back something, if Ballyward went out to 7 to 2, 4 to 1, do you remember Jim Bowen on
Bullseye?
Bullseye, and he'd say, if you want to back Ballyward, that's safe. If you back him each way, 7 to 2, 4 to 1, he's guaranteed to be in the first 3. That's safe. Is OK Corral going to stay 4 miles? We don't know. Probably.
We get Bully coming across the screen. Yeah. Okay, so that's okay. So you're happy enough with your position on OK Corral?
I am, but I'd be very worried about Ballyward.
Well, I'm going to throw a banner in the works. I fancy Discorama. Okay. I think he's the one that's going to get up the hill.
Would he have beaten Ballyward in this?
No, he wouldn't. But I just think last year I thought he ran a cracker in the Martin Pike.
He did.
Behind Blow by Blow. I think he's been trained for the race. I think he's the one that will adapt to conditions, and he's a tough, hardy so-and-so. Yeah. So it's Discorama for me. But I wouldn't be surprised if OK Corral won either. So Discorama.
Derek O'Connor coming late.
Your strongest fancy on day 1 of the Cheltenham Festival is?
Definitely Benny the Jew, but that's a bad price. So in terms of a good price, I'd say Classical Dream and the Supreme to beat Facardoudery.
Okay, I agree. I think Benny's to do is probably the banker on day 1. Yeah. But I'm going to throw in Riders on the Storm as my strongest fancy on day 1 of the Cheltenham Festival. Now it's time to bring in the crowd. We've got some questions from our adoring followers who are going to be devastated that this is the last show.
I met a guy on Thursday from Australia. He's over for Cheltenham and he lives in Australia, obviously in Melbourne, and he watches the show every week.
Does he?
Yep.
What's his name?
Anthony. There you go.
You just made that up.
No, I didn't.
His name was Anthony?
Yeah.
Okay.
I met him at the lunch that Tony McCoy was
I believe you. Okay, our old buddy, Basher Watts. Basher's in again.
Yeah.
DJ, I have one question. Where will you be standing at 1:30 on Tuesday so we can both cheer home Mr. Fisher to get us off to a flyer? I'll tell you exactly where I'll be, okay?
Where will you be?
So it's the start of the old stand, so it's about 50 yards from the final flight. It's where the owners and trainers section is, and I'll be standing about 5 yards away from Willie Mullins. So if you look for Willie Mullins with the binoculars, I'll be about 5 yards to his right. And we can cheer on Mr. Fisher together. Basher.
I'll be in a pair of shorts.
You'll be in a pair of shorts, sunning yourself,
Yeah.
looking at women in bikinis. Okay, question 2. Joe Thomas, Gavin, is friend or foe a good thing for the Fred Winter?
He's not a good thing. It's a very open handicap. There's probably going to be 20 odd in it. But just to give you a couple of stats for Paul Nicholls, he's won the Fred Winter 3 times in the last 9 years. Sanctuaire won it, had 2 runs in France and 1 at Taunton, similar to the profile for friend or foe. He won by 9 lengths. Qualando won it, had 3 runs in
25-1, Nick Schofield. Oh, beautiful.
Very good. Qualando had 3 runs in France, 2 in extra, and then he won the Fred Winter. Diego de Charmille, 3 runs in France, no runs in the UK, and then went on to win the Fred Winter. And he's doing the same again here. 2 runs in France for friend or foe, and he won at Taunton at Christmas, so the signs are good.
Okay, so you're a friend rather than a foe of friend of foe?
Yeah, he'd have a good chance, yeah.
Okay, lovely. There you go, Joe. And Ramstein Red, Epatante will win the Mayor's Novice Hurdle on Thursday. Top of the game got left at the start on the seasonal debut, and he should have won at Kempton. Is he a bit of a dodge pot, Gavin?
Which do you want to first, Epatante?
No, go. Well, we'll go. And the final part of the question is, Gavin, what is your handicap each way banker? Okay, so we'll take them in order. 3 parts to this question.
Yes.
It's like 3 syllables. First syllable, Epatante to win the Mayor's Novice Hurdle on Thursday. Now that
Honeysuckle
is gone.
So don't mention that.
Now, do you want to come to this later in the show?
Yes, I do. But just to say one thing about Epatante is that Nikki Henderson deserves a lot of credit. He didn't go and win a listed hurdle with her. So she gets £5 off some of the other mares because she didn't win a big race, which was very clever.
Yes, okay. Top of the game, is he a dodge pot?
I don't think so. If you look at him in the Coral Cup last year for 150, you liked him that day. But even previous to that, when he won in Sandown over 2-7, he missed the break at Exeter with Defi Desoy, and then at Christmas he took it up too soon.
He was only getting out of bed.
He missed by 20. At Christmas, you just wondered though about a battle. I think they're going to ride him away from Delta Work.
Yeah, I think top of the game will be wide.
Well, he'll stay away from Delta Work because if it's a battle, there's only one winner.
And Gavin, the third syllable of that question, what is your handicap each way banker? The most important part of the question, really.
I've only backed 4 horses so far in handicaps. A Plutard that I mentioned.
Lovely.
In the Close Brothers.
Might be placed, yeah, go on.
Uradel, I like a lot in the Martin Pipe. Don't know whether it's going to get into the Coral Cup.
I know you up for the Coral Cup,
at a big price, so it's a good call. But I think if he ends up in the Pipe, he'll go off favourite and win. I backed Measure My Dreams at 10 or 12 to 1 in the Kim Muir.
Oh, yes, Shrudy, of course you did.
Jamie Codd.
And finally?
And the other one I backed was Sire de Burley around 8 to 1 for the Pertemps. He just has an each way chance. I think
that talking horse, Sire de Burley, isn't he?
He actually talks.
Yeah, he does, yeah.
I'd like either a Plutard or Uradel in the Pipe.
Okay, there we go. Happy with that, Ramstein Red. Okay, so now it's time for the final round of selections, of our anti-post selections for Upping The Ante 2019. And I'm going to go first. Gavin, you've got 2.
Yes.
I've got 3 to add to my list, and the first of those is the captain. I'm bringing the captain in last. You got Tiger Roll in early. This is my captain. It is Defi Desoy in the JLT. I cannot believe he's still 11 to 4 with Red Zone. I think that is a huge price. It's 1-1 between himself and Lost in Translation. He is a better horse than Lost in Translation. He should have won it at the Dipper on New Year's Day at Cheltenham. He did win the Scilly Isles, and I thought he bolted up. I know it was only 3/4 of a length, but I thought he'd beat him every day of the week. So Defi Desoy 11 to 4.
I want to tell you one thing as well, is that the Dipper was 170 yards longer than the JLT, which will suit Defi Desoy because he's more gears. There you go.
I like that, Gavin. Thanks for that.
Good. I like him
I'm more
too.
confident now.
Yeah.
And we agree.
Yep.
And I don't think we're going to agree on the next one. It comes in the Cheltenham Gold Cup, and I've got to get Bellshill in there because I think Bellshill is the horse that will end Willie Mullins' Cheltenham Gold Cup hoodoo. I think everybody is crabbing him. So you say to me, Bellshill won't win the Gold Cup. What do you say? Why won't he win the Gold Cup?
Why won't he?
Yeah.
Just don't think he's good enough.
Well, apart from that, what would be your next reason?
I don't think he's just going to be able to live with horses like
No, Gavin, you're supposed to say, well, sure, he hates Cheltenham.
Okay.
So let's do this again, right?
Right.
Okay.
Are we starting again?
Gavin, no. Gavin, I fancy Bellshill. What would be the reason you don't fancy?
Because he hates Cheltenham.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't. Do you know what he does? He hates the old course. He might love the new course for all we know. 3 runs at Cheltenham, 3 on the old course. This is his first try over the new course.
So he likes the new course.
Well, he hasn't proven that he doesn't like it. So I'm going to go for Bellshill. I think the trip, the ground, I think the way he's been campaigned this season, I think everything is in Bellshill's favour. And when Ruby Walsh, it becomes public that Ruby's going to ride, I think he'll be a single figure price.
Won't
so I'm
win.
getting Bellshill in there at 11 to 1.
Won't win.
Okay, and my final selection is in the Triumph Hurdle and is a horse called Cur Sublime for Gordon Elliott and potentially Davy Russell in the JCB Triumph Hurdle. 22 to 1 with Red Zone. Now, he's not going to beat Sir Eric, okay?
No.
But if something does go wrong with Sir Eric, if something happens, he had a stone bruise, Cur Sublime apparently is working terrifically well in Gordon's. I can see, it's the first time he's got soft ground all season will be at Cheltenham. He's a really good flat horse. He should have won his first 3 starts over hurdles. He fell in Leopardstown. He was just beaten by Chief Justice at Fairyhouse. And I think 22 to 1 at the moment is still a huge price. I can see him going off 8s or 10s.
No.
Okay.
I think Tiger Tap Tap might be second.
Okay, so you fancy Tiger Tap Tap?
Just to be second.
Okay, so that's my final 3 selections and Up in the Ante. Defi Desai for the JLT, Bells Hill for the Gold Cup, and Cur Sublime for the Triumph. Gavin, you have 2 selections, and the first of them is in the very first race.
Yeah, Classical Dream. I tipped him up for the Ballymore. The reasons are quite obvious. I was hoping he'd go to that one because the ground was going to be possibly good to soft, but now that the ground is soft, I think Willie's made the right call. It's obvious that, you know, Ruby has picked it ahead of Araman, which is a pointer. There was very little between them at Christmas. But 16 months ago, it was only beaten 4 lengths in a Grade 1 in France. 2 mile 2, Otay, very soft ground. Its 2 runs for Willie have been on good ground around Leopardstown. I think that the fast run race, soft ground, the hill, he stays. They go a relentless gallop in the Supreme, so you need to stay.
You've almost convinced me. That was pretty good.
Almost.
I want you stand up in court for me.
Yes.
If I ever get into trouble, I'll give you a call.
I'm a liar.
You're a liar, all right. And your final selection is in the Mayor's Novice Hurdle, which was originally your best selection, Honeysuckle, who you tipped up at 14 to 1. Unfortunately, Honeysuckle got a setback, doesn't go here. But you're staying in the same colours. Yeah,
same colour, same trainer, same jockey. Sonoria, I was always worried about her maybe appearing in this race, even with Honeysuckle in it. The British handicapper has given the 2 of them actually the same rate in 142, which was interesting. She won a point to point. She was 4th in Gorham Park in a 2 mile maiden. She was very green that day. At Christmas, she won her maiden by 13 lengths over 2.5. One thing that's very important, I'll come back to in a sec maybe, but since then she ran in a graded hurdle against Chosen Mate, got £7, and she won by 3/4 of a length. Look beat, fought back. The inside track definitely wouldn't have suited her that day. Because she's more of a stayer. Chosen Mate has gone on to win a Grade 2 since. The form is quite good. So to beat a gelding is very good for mare. The other thing I'll say to you that the 3 previous winners of this race, Lorena, Limini and Let's Dance.
All trained by Willie Mullins.
Yes, but they'd also all won over 2.5. The Mayor's Novice is 2 mile 1. It's on the new track. It's Thursday evening. They'll go quick and you need to stay. So even though she has to give £5 to Epatante, I think Sonoria will stay best.
Excellent. So that is Sonoria and Classical Dream, the latest additions to Gavin's Antepost Cheltenham portfolio. So now it's time to have a look at the good, the bad and the ugly in our Antepost portfolios. And I'm up first, Gavin.
Okay.
So people are frantically writing down all my selections. First assignment, 25 to 1 for the Pretemps. Lovely.
Good.
10s at the moment. Eurodel Coral Cup 20 to 1 could be good. Mr. Fisher 14 to 1 for the Supreme. You'll get that on the day. Black Op Stairs each way 16 to 1 I think is a good price. Balco de Flow will get soft ground, which he wants in the Ryanair 14 to 1. Delta Work
Great
for the
call.
RSA.
That's your best one.
No, but top of the game will win that.
No, you won't.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, top of the game will win the RSA. Paloma Blue for the Arkle, 18 to 1, has a small squeak. Envoy Allen, the rain has come, I think 11 to 2, cracking chance, happy with that. Moving on to my next ones, Dunvegan, Rhinestone, forget about them, neither of them will go for that race. He does have a chance in the Albert Bartlett if he turns up. Calypto for the Ultimate, 22 to 1, I think he'll run well. Le Parisienne, Grand Annual, 20 to 1, yeah, I think he's got a cracking chance. Janika for the Brown Advisory, 14 to 1, favourite at the moment, big chance. Early Doors for the Martin Pipe, 22 to 1, hopefully he'll go there. Riders on the Storm for the Close Brothers, 10 to 1, and my latest selections, Defi Desai, Bells Hill and Cur Sublime. Mr. Gavin Lynch, let's have a look at your list.
That's not a bad list.
Overall, marks out of 10?
7.8.
Okay, moving on to Gavin's list. And we have a few non-runners to start with, but it does get better. Malone Road, 8 to 1 for the bumper, unfortunately not.
Lawler 7,
Naylor,
that's okay.
big chance. Larichburg, very unlucky, JLT, 28 to 1. Tiger Road, Captain.
Yeah, Captain, yeah.
Happy?
Yeah.
Penhill, unfortunately gone. Road to Respect, gone.
Yeah.
But still entered in the race.
Yeah, no, it's just going the Ryanair, isn't it?
Okay, Honeysuckle, unfortunately gone. Waiting Patiently gone. Now we got all the bad ones out of the way first. Get them off the
Actually,
screen.
Waiting Patiently got its ground when he was entered.
Okay, Corral for National Hunt Chase, 3 to 1. Blue Sari, 12 to 1 for the bumper. Cracking tip.
Good chance.
Yeah. Fakir de Dares for the Supreme, 11 to 1. That was actually for the Ballymore, unlucky. See,
Supreme.
Teasing you. Yeah, but he's not 11 to 1, 11 to 2.
No, that's what I tipped him up at.
Sir Eric. Oh, sorry. I did that wrong. Shit, go on to next. I'm thinking of Classical Dream. Sorry. I'll start again on this one, okay?
So on this page.
Okay. Yeah.
That's the last page.
Okay, so I go. Right, get rid of them. They're a couple of non-runners. It gets better. It gets far better. Okay, Corral. National Hunt Chase, 3 to 1. Blue Sari, 12 to 1 for the bumper.
Yeah.
Cracking bet. Fakir de Dares, 11 to 1 for Supreme. Fantastic. Sir Eric for the Triumph, 9 to 4. You got the value. Defi Desai, JLT, 6 to 1. What a bet that is. Benny to do for the Mayor's Hurdle. 2-1. Delta work for the RSA, 4-1. Measure of my dreams, Kim Yorford.
No, that page is okay. Makes
Now,
up
that's why we hire you. Look at that list.
That's why we get the big money.
And is there any left? Is that it? Oh, Lord God. A Plutar for the Close Brothers, 10-1. Great bet. Allaho for the Albert Bartlett, 16s. Dinons for the Albert Bartlett, 28s. Nice value.
Yeah.
Classical Dream for the Ballymore. Unfortunately goes for the Supreme. Sonoria now for the Mayor's Hurdle, 11-2. Classical Dream for the Supreme now at 8-1. And 2 extras that we're going to give Gavin, because we've given him a few extras. A bit of a bonus. Do you know the way you throw him a few quid at the end of the show if he's any good, okay? Gordon Elliott to be top trainer, 11-8. And Min without Altior for the Champion Chase, 8-11. You think is a certainty?
That's the bet of the week. That can't be beat, I don't think.
Min without Altior.
Yeah. He'll beat the rest by as far as Altior wins. And Gordon Elliott, I'd be a little bit worried that in terms of this bet that Willie is right back in form. He had 2 winners there the other day and 2 yesterday and some on Saturday. So Willie's back in form, but I think Gordon will win it.
Okay, first page I give you a 4 out of 10. Second page 9.8 out of 10. Overall about 7.9 out of 10 for you. You're slightly ahead of me. But all will be revealed in the next 4 days. Don't forget that Red Zone offer. Bet 10 quid, get 50 quid in Red Zone's double deal. New customers only have a tenner on any double and get 5 free tenner doubles in return. So we're going to give you our double for the Cheltenham Festival now. And mine is definitely the side for the JLT and top of the game for the RSA. That's my Cheltenham Festival double. Gavin Lynch.
I'll go for Min without. And we'll go for Benny Dedew.
And Benny Dedew in the OLBG Mayor's Hurdle. So that's it, folks.
That's it.
Unfortunately, the good news is that Cheltenham is just around the corner. The bad news is, or good news, is that we won't be back until next November.
And best of luck to everybody. And remember, Tuesday and Wednesday are probably the 2 best days for punting.
Okay, Tuesday and Wednesday. Listen to this man. He knows his Cheltenham. I've been David Jennings. He's been Gavin Lynch. Thanks for watching for the last 15 weeks. We've had a ball.
Thanks, Dave.
Red Zone Sports.bet. Wham, bam, thank you, Uncle Sam.